Hey again, one of the fundamental process in software development is keeping your application stable and not crash. So now the problem will happen with the code for reading file that we already did it before for read data from this file. What will happen if I say this file is deleted? So I want to delete it, do it. So now if I just rerun the file, the application will crash. Why? Because when he reaches this line, he wants to read the file, there is no file, then the application is a crash. And this is not what we want when we develop application. We need to make sure if there's any failure, you have to say, hey, there is a failure, and that is the application will not crash. So crash does mean the application will not continue. So think about you have here same thing like write or print app is done or any other process. This file line will never reach it. Why? Because there is a failure happen here. So he crashed the application. So I want to catch the failure. In Python, to catch the failure, just doing try this way. Then whatever code that you want to catch, add tab inside it. Then say, hey, try to run this code. If you was able, you was. If you not, give me exception. Exception. What the type of exception? There's too many different type of exception you could catch. For this one, what do you think the type of exception should be? IO, is that right? Because IO error, you think for sure IO error the exception will happen here because you're reading from IO. So here if you get this exception, print file not found. Okay? Then you done. That is. So what is going here is this. He will try to execute trying to run this code. If he was able, he will run it, then he will go to line number 10. If he wasn't able to do that work, he will go to the error exception and then he go to line number 10, so the application will not crash. If you see I run it again, he say file not found, app is done. Because when he tried to go here, if I just debug it, he tried to run this code, he wasn't able to do it because there is a problem in the file. So he went here to the exception. He print the message, then he continue. So in this case, we would say the application does not crash. We just find the error, and this is a really important thing. So whenever you believe there is a failure will happen, just do try catch. Try to run your code, then catch the failure, whatever you want to do. Then continue. It's a really important part. If you go to the website for Python try catch error, you will see too many different type of errors you could catch it. So think about you asking someone to enter integer and he enter character from the input. You will have error. So you have to try it. You have to make sure if he doesn't enter integer, you catch it and you say, hey, value error. See, this is another type of error. There's different type of error. You could see them and use them on depend on your case. So for example, if you are reading from IO error, if you value a specific value, you say value error. There is different type of exceptions. You would use them. It depends on the case that you have. It depends on the type of the code that you use it. So it's really important for me to show you when you want to, or you expect there is error, run that code, and then catch the error, then continue. Yeah, here we done, and thank you for watching. And make sure you check out the Python website to see different type of catching errors and how you work with them. Like as I told you, the one that I showed you in second, if I just create a new file name, I say file exceptions. Okay, so think about the last exception that I give you, which is for reading from inputs. So you think if I go here, handling this one, I will move it from here. So think about someone enter data. So make sure always use main. I try to use it to keep you familiar with this part, main, and you believe there is definition for main. So there is input. So x will be equal something input from the screen. I say enter number. Okay, but you think the input should be integer, so you have to convert these data to integer because you expect x is integer. Then you say, hey, print x plus 5, and that's what you expected. But if you run it, that's totally okay. If he enter 10, you show him 15. But if you rerun it again and he enters this a character, there is a failure happen. So you expect there is error here happen. So try to do try, run this code. If you pass it. If you not, please, sorry. If you pass, pass. If you not, try to catch, try to accept the error. What the type of error here? This value error. So if there is any value error, print, say, hey, value have to be integer, whatever. So now if he just try to run it again, when he enter character, you tell him value have to be integer. So this is basically another type of exception. Yes, here we done, and thank you for watching, and see you next.